The old manor on the outskirts of town had long been shrouded in mystery. Years of neglect had left its once grand facade marred by vines and peeling paint. The locals whispered tales of strange occurrences, disembodied whispers on the wind, and lights flickering in the windows at night. It was said that anyone who ventured too close could hear the melancholy piano playing from within. One evening, a curious young woman named Clara decided to unravel the stories of the manor. As twilight descended, she approached the rickety front door, heart pounding in her chest. With a gentle push, it creaked open, revealing a dimly lit foyer filled with dust and sorrow. Shadows danced along the walls, flickering in and out of view, sending shivers down her spine. She stepped inside, her footsteps echoing in the emptiness. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of mold and decay. Clara's fingers brushed against the banister as she climbed the staircase, each step creaking underfoot. The whispers began as she reached the landing, soft and insistent, as if beckoning her deeper into the house. At the end of the hallway stood an ornate door, slightly ajar. Intrigued, Clara pushed it open to find a sitting room that felt frozen in time. Dust motes floated through the air, and a grand piano sat in the corner, its keys yellowed with age. As she approached, the whispers grew louder, serene yet unsettling. They urged her to play, to unlock the secrets buried within the house. Clara's hands hovered over the keys, her breath hitching. She pressed down gently, and the piano responded, a haunting melody spilling forth, intertwining with the whispers. It was as if the house itself joined in, resonating with her every note. The music enveloped her, a warm embrace that made her forget the darkness looming outside. But as the final note hung in the air, the atmosphere shifted. The whispers turned urgent, frantic. Panic gripped her as she felt a chill ripple through the room. Shadows twisted, morphing into indistinct shapes just beyond her vision. Clara's heart raced as she stumbled back, realizing she was no longer alone. Figures flickered at the edges of her sight, lost souls drawn to the music, their faces twisted in sorrow. "What do you want?" she gasped, her voice trembling. The figures turned toward her, their silent screams echoing in the depths of her mind. The whispering intensified, a cacophony of voices pleading, begging for release. Clara could see their outstretched hands, gnarled and ghostly, reaching for her. In that moment, a realization struck her: the piano was their only connection to the living world. They could not move on, trapped by the very music that once invited her in. Desperation clawed at her as she turned to flee, but the door slammed shut, leaving her with no escape. The room began to close in, the air thick with despair. Just when she thought all hope was lost, Clara snatched at the nearest object, a dusty music box perched on the mantel. She flung it open, the melody sparking a flicker of recognition among the lost souls. For an instant, their horror-filled faces softened, and the whispers shifted. They were no longer pleading, they were remembering. The realization dawned on Clara. This was her chance. She began to play the music box's sweet lullaby, and for the briefest moment, the room brightened. The spirits started to dissolve, the shadows retreating as they danced away. Yet just as they turned toward the light, one figure lingered, eyes locked onto Clara's with an expression of unimaginable loss. With a heart-stopping smile, the figure pointed a bony finger at her, whispering words she couldn't understand before finally vanishing. Clara's pulse quickened as the music faded, leaving an unsettling silence behind. She stood alone in the room, the light dimming once more. Had she freed them, or merely taken their place? The piano remained untouched, yet felt more alive than before. A sense of dread settled over her as she turned back to the haunting instrument, knowing in her bones that she had become part of the story. A chilling realization washed over her: the whispers were never truly gone. They had simply accepted a new presence among them. The music would continue, and so would the cycle.